Hello. This is so weird. Hello. So, basically, I'm here in Paris. If you don't believe me, I'm gonna show you. You see the buildings? Yep, that's Paris. And right now, I'm in La Sorbonne, my university, and there's no teacher. So just gonna study. I feel like this is the perfect opportunity to like talk about the topics that I've been wanting to talk about on camera, and I think that this is the right time. Let's go to Moodle, see what she has first. I miss Virginia. Let's talk about missing the places where you've lived before, because this is like a very strong thing with me, being someone who has moved a lot throughout their life. I've lived in Equatorial Guinea, where I was born. I lived in Virginia in the US. I lived in Ethiopia, and now I'm living in Paris, France. And so I have been very completely different people in each of those countries, and I miss every single one of them. I miss every single one. And it's crazy because every time that I'm living there, I'm like, oh, this is the worst. I can't wait until we move again, because my life like requires me to move. And so I'm like, oh, I can't wait until we move again, like me and my family. And when I do move, I realize how much I miss the place where I used to live. And this has happened so much where I'm just like, maybe if I just enjoy where I am now, because I'll never, ever, ever have this place like I have it now again. This place will be gone, just like every other place that I've ever lived in. And I'll be missing it so much. I'll be writing poems about it. I'll be reminiscing about it. So that's why I'm enjoying Paris with all of my heart, all of my soul. And yeah, so let's talk about missing places. So like, when I used to live in Arlington, I missed my home in Guinea a lot, because obviously that's where my family is, that's where I was born, that's who I am, you know. Like, I missed it. And Arlington was amazing. I had so much fun with myself. That's where I like grew up as a young lady. You could say like that's where I found myself as a young woman with ambition, everything. And I used to go to the forest all the time and just prance about. I really used to just be jolly in the forest. It was thrilling because it's like, whoa, it's forest. Like, it was a little bit scary, but at the same time, it was the most calm I ever felt throughout the day when I would go go to the forest. And my mom hated it. My mom hated it when I went to the forest. But I still went. And yeah. And in that forest, it was like a big park, like a big park forest with like a path and everything. And so in that park, there was a garden, and that garden was like the most beautiful place ever. And in this specific garden, there was a tree called a Virginia magnolia tree that has Virginia magnolia flowers, and they smelled so good. They smelled wonderful. Like, it was amazing. It was amazing. Like I remember the first time that I went there, and I was smelling something in the air, something really fresh, something really sweet and good. And I was like, what is this smell? What is this wonderful smell? And I couldn't figure out what it was. I literally did not know. So I was like sniffing around, like I couldn't find what it was. And then it wasn't like until a few days after that I came back, and then I smelled it again. And I smelled the flowers that were in front of me. Because I smelled the flowers that were in front of me, and they smelled so amazing. I was like, oh, this is the best smelling flower in the whole entire world. Virginia magnolias. They have really thick petals, white. In the middle, they are orange, and they kind of curve up like this, kind of like a lotus flower. They smell so amazing. I would, like, if I had a perfume brand, and I've been thinking, do I look like a perfumer? I feel like I look like a perfumer with this black turtleneck, but I also feel like this black turtleneck could like make me look like any single career. It can make me look like I'm in any single career or industry. Like, I look like a writer. Duh. I look like a writer. I look like a fashion designer. Loki. Maybe not with this, but like if it was just this, then yes. What else do I look like? I'm gonna love this video when I'm like, I'm gonna love this video so much. Don't mind my snort, because lately I have not been going to sleep. I had a good time because I've been watching movies, and my body is like responding to it and being like, yep, this is what you get. This is what you get, me. So I have just a little bit of a cold. Like, it's nothing. It's just like a runny nose. It's nothing. But yesterday night, like, I slept good. I woke up in the middle of the night and I couldn't go to sleep. But I think that's normal. That's actually how you should be sleeping. You should be sleeping in intervals. Like, you shouldn't like be sleeping like 8 hours straight. You should be sleeping for like 4 hours. You wake up again and then you sleep 4 hours again. So when I was awake, I read my comic book. It's the 1984 comic book by George Orwell, and it's really good. So far, it's really interesting how they are all being controlled. They're all being watched constantly, even in their thoughts. Like, you can have a thought and the government is watching that as well. That's why there's a quote that's like, in this world, in the world of Big Brother, the thought doesn't lead to death. The thought is death itself. I was like, oh, there's no freedom. If you can't think freely, if thinking leads to your death, then there's no freedom, because everything starts with a thought. A thought leads to an action. So I found that really interesting. But yeah, as I was saying, I look like a perfumer. And if I were to have my own perfume company, I would make a perfume centered around the Virginia magnolia. I don't even know if there's if you can extract, because I've never in my entire life seen the specific scent of Virginia magnolia. It's always I've always seen magnolia, but I've never seen Virginia magnolia ever. And I don't know if you can even extract it. I mean, you should be able to, because it smells really, really, really strong. It smells stronger than any rose I've ever smelled. I was smelling it in the air as I was walking around the garden. It was the most prominent scent. And you should be able to extract it, but I've never seen any perfumes. Okay, perfumes of Virginia magnolia. I'm not seeing any Virginia magnolia here. So I'm studying for my test in grammar that I have in my next class in 3 hours. And I just found out what the groups are. Premier groupe, deuxième groupe, troisième groupe. Premier groupe is tous les verbes en ER. All the verbs that end in ER except for aller. I had no idea that's what it was. Why am I doing this whole time? I should just look up information when I'm confused, instead of letting my confusion prolong and making a problem out of it. This is so easy. First group is just ER, the easiest, manger, tuer, grignoter, sauver. That's interesting, though, the words that I pulled out of my head. So, deuxième groupe is verbs in ER qui conjuguent sur le modèle de finir. So, deuxième groupe is ER, savoir, faillir. Premier groupe, les verbes dont l'infinitif se termine en ER, sauf aller. Deuxième groupe, ceux qui terminent en IR, ces verbes en infinitif IR et les participes en I-cent. Troisième groupe appartient à ce groupe tous les verbes irréguliers. Irregular verbs. And troisième group is all the irregular verbs, like the weird ones. Honestly, if it doesn't end in ER and ER, I don't want to know about it. That's troisième group. I'm in the premier group kind of vibe, you know, like. So. I'm gonna take some notes. I'm gonna take some notes because it's important that I got this. It's important that I got this.